Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from InfoVest. Hope you're all doing well. So, disaster for Canadians who own properties in Florida, as many of these snowbirds are selling their condos in panic because of the currency depreciation and higher costs due to insurance and the currency fluctuation. So there's this article that comes out from the Financial Post. I'll link it in the description so you can read up on it. But it talks about how certain Canadians are making up about 1/4 of the sales in condos in Florida, and how a lot of them are selling it due to all this currency, that the Canadian currency is depreciating and falling on, especially with the Trump administration, who are coming out hard on Canada with the tariffs. Now we have Trump coming out, and actually Trump and Trudeau speaking around 3 p.m. today, actually right now as we speak, and they're going to be discussing about tariffs. So it's going to be interesting to see what Trump has to say after the meeting. We heard that the meeting with Mexico was not bad, was positive, and we could see tariffs being postponed till March. But anything can change, because we still have more tariff talks with Canada, potentially China as well, and the EU. Now let's get back to this article here from the Financial Post. If you scroll down in the middle, it has an interesting quote that says, "For us Canadians, it's a double whammy," according to Cedrone, a person who bought and purchased a condo in Florida, and she basically pointing to a loonie that trades roughly around 69 American cents on top of rising maintenance costs. She says that, "We love this place, but it came to a point now we are in our 70s and it's cheaper for me to come here 2 months and rent rather than own." And higher insurance rates, taxes, and condo fees play a role as well. And we heard that Florida had an increase in their insurance rates and condo fees and taxes, along with this double whammy of the Canadian dollar depreciating. So this person's not alone. Many snowbirds are scrambling to sell their homes in Florida. A weak loonie and high insurance costs are driving Canadians to run away. Canadians make up nearly 1/4 of foreign sellers in Florida between April 2023 and March 2024, versus just 11% in the same period. Real estate broker Alexandra, who sells properties largely to Quebecers in southeast Florida, says she's juggling twice her typical workload with 30 plus listings, as a lot of these listings are coming online. "I've never had this much in a decade. I picked up 3 new listings on Monday. That's never happened to me in one day," she said last week. "Properties used to last on the market for a day or two before being snapped up." Well, that was COVID time, and that's not the case anymore. Now, the minimum in Southwest Florida is 90 days, and they're still not selling. Inventory is growing day by day. He said most of his clients are Ontarians and Quebecers. "We feel the market is going to collapse pretty soon. People are panicking now." So you can see it here, with Canadians panicking, trying to scoop up and sell their investments and grab any dollar as they can, because with this trade war making things worse off, you're getting people in panic, right? And the currency, right, crashing here. It's plunging to new lows. Now, obviously, this can all change, right? Trade talks could get better, as we kind of got a little bit of a hint between U.S. and Mexico, and we're seeing a rally in the equity markets. But again, you can never expect and guess what Donald Trump is going to do. We can see him completely flip. We can see him, tweet one day and say, "Hey, things are going well," and then saying that I tweet another day, say that I hung up on the phone and things are not going well, and then you get panic all of a sudden, the Canadian dollar plunges, stock market sells off, etc., etc. But what's alarming here is that if this is the trend and the trajectory, right, and this is just a taste of it, we're just in the beginning of the year, but if this continues, you can expect more inventory to rise in Florida with these condos, and especially in an area like Florida that's already having tough time and high inventory days, high days on market. You can expect that to increase, and you can expect the prices to come down. That's just Florida. With Canadians, you can also expect some pain there as well, with the loonie plunging further, with depending how this trade war pans out. If it really ends up being bad, then you can expect the unemployment rate going up, job losses increasing, right, and the economy basically cratering. Now, what's also interesting is we got from BMO revising their outlook for Canadian interest rates in response to Trump's 25% tariffs. They expect the Bank of Canada to cut rates all the way down to 1.5% by October, basically saying that if this 25% tariff ends up happening, you can get really aggressive rate cuts. And I would say not 1.5%, I would even argue you can get rates back to zero, right? Which you may think, oh, that's fantastic, rates are going back to zero, but not necessarily. That will not only see rate cuts happen aggressively, but you'll get money printing coming in, which will skyrocket inflation, which will plunge the loonie even further, right? Due to all this trade war, uncertainty, the economy. The economy will get worse off, GDP worse off, unemployment rate will go up, and you can expect also the Canadian real estate market to plateau or get worse off as well. And you can expect, same thing like Florida, days on the market being high, and also prices to dip further, right? So all these risk factors for not just people in Florida and in the US, but also Canadians as well. And what would hurt the most is that loonie getting weaker and weaker if you get that oh no moment and that crash, which which some people would argue, oh, it's not going to be that bad, or oh, you're going to get rate cuts and everything will be fine. Well, not necessarily. Things can end up worse off even with rates slashing to zero, and that's because there's panic, there's that crash, there's that recession. And then afterwards, yes, there will be a bottom and things will pick back up again. But before that happens, well, if you're going to get those aggressive rate cuts and money printing, that's because something ugly is about to happen. So let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. It's 3:11 right now. Monitoring the social media networks out there and seeing what Trump and Trudeau has come up with. And stay tuned, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers. Bye.